No. Imagine smoking weed in the street without
It's Saturday, y'all. It's Saturday. Break it down. Break it down. It's Saturday, and welcome. I wish those on Radio Region could see you guys getting down. So welcome everyone to another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. And as is usual, we will introduce ourselves in alphabetical order, just in case you don't know who we are yet.
Yes, my name is Carcia, and I am super excited to be a part of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. And I'm excited for you all to take in the show today. It's going to be a good time.
It is, girl. Hello, my name is Telly, and I am also a fond and happy member of the girl group. Don't forget this name, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. The only crew that you really need to know. Every other crew is second. We are the first. Yes, I said it, and I ain't taking it back, period.
You are, every week you kill me, girl. And I am Toshiba, the final member of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. If you are joining us live, thank you for joining us. If you're joining us on the Radio Region, hello. Thank you also for joining us. And if you're not already following us, which you should be, you can follow us on all of our social medias, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So ladies, today we're talking haters. Hi haters. Hi haters. Hi haters. Hi haters. Hi haters. So, and you know what? Right? Break it down. And I think that the term is being used. The term is being used so much now that I really want us to get into this concept of what is a hater, because I think a lot of people might mistake this idea of hating and somebody being non-supportive, right? Like, or unsupportive. Yeah. And I think there is a vast difference between people who just ain't gonna support you. They don't see your vision, they don't see whatever, but they'll still have your back.
Right.
But they're not necessarily hating, and there are people who are just downright hating. So what do you guys think is kind of that difference between someone who's just a hater and doesn't want to see your glow up, and someone who just doesn't have the ability to support you?
So, do you want to go first?
Well, I was just going to say that, like, the difference to me, anyway, is, the person that isn't really, downplaying your dream, but I guess they're more coming from a place of fear. Where they they want to see you succeed in anything you do. They may not support your dream only because they don't want to see you get hurt if something was to happen or whatever.
Right.
But they still support you as a friend or as a family member, and they will still, buy your product, or they'll wish you well all the time, and maybe behind your back they might say something else. But at least they're trying to stay in a positive place. Now, a hater doesn't give one kick about you. They hope that you fail. They don't want to see you rise. Even if you put something up to say, hey everyone, I'm starting a new baking business.
Right.
They're going to be the ones to say, oh, I had their food and it sucks. And they have no problem blasting this out to other people to make you look bad. And they just want to stomp on your dreams. That's just a full-on, that's like a gangster. They just line you up and shoot you. They don't, they're looking to cut you. That's a hater.
And you know what, too?
And it's disgusting.
The hater situation is, I find a hater is someone, too, that you may not suspect is a hater.
Which is even worse.
The hater is, girl, listen, we all know. The hater is the person that went out to dinner with you and all your friends, and they sat there and they cheersed you as you said you were going to be doing something, and they're like, yes! And then as soon as you get up to go powder your nose, this is the same girl that's like, who she think she playing?
Girl.
Like, do you understand? Do you believe what she's doing? After and they sow seeds. They sow seeds of negative energy out, and you don't know what they're doing. Those are the worst type of haters.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. There's different breeds of haters. Yeah. There's like your friends who you think is your friend, or your family that secretly want to stab you in the back and watch you fail. And then there's like your haters that don't know you from Adam, and they're just putting these bad vibes on you.
And I think, I think Garcia said it, the worst for me is the one that you think is there for you. You don't even recognize sometimes until it's too late that this person is just being a hater. Because listen, there are going to be people who will not support your dream. And I think Telly, you said it best in terms of their fear of failure, they're projecting onto you. The things that they may have done have failed, or they fear failure so much that they never kind of go out on a limb and do something. So when you do, for them, it's like, oh, cautious, warning sign, yellow tape, all that stuff. But they'll kind of still watch you and support you from afar. But then there's people who you think are like rah, sis, boom, bomb, your cheerleaders, only to realize that they're talking crap about you and your product or whatever you do behind your back. And I think that's the worst kind of hater, because you don't necessarily see them coming. I'm fine if people don't know me and they want to hate on me, like, please, like, because I'm not gonna listen. Like we said in our promo video, the girl said in our promo video, I'm not gonna block my hater. You're gonna see my glow up. You're gonna see everything I'm doing. Hi, hater, right? Like, you don't have any reason not to hate me. Or like the funny thing is, to me, it's like when you're a stranger, to me it's fine, because I'm like, you can either love me or hate me. Like, it doesn't matter to me because you don't know me, right? Like, and whatever you want to feel, I'm not here to please everyone. But again, it's the people who are out here showing you love, only to realize, girl, they are stabbing you in your back.
Too is that while they're stabbing you, your other friends and family, they know, but they won't say anything to you.
No, and I don't blame them in a way, because we know how this all goes.
Well, yeah, this turns into a big plot mess.
Yeah.
But I was gonna add too that, with what Toshiba was saying about people that want to block their haters. I agree. Do not block their haters.
I'm not blocking my haters.
The best type of revenge is that, listen. Who was it? I think I think
it was actually Frank Sinatra who said something like that.
I think so.
Obviously, he didn't say glow up. I mean, it was the.
Listen, people aren't hating
you. The greatest revenge is the success.
Exactly.
Or something.
People aren't hating you. Something is wrong. There has to be jealousy. It's called balance. Not everyone is going to love you. Not everyone loves Miley Cyrus. No. Not everyone loves, clearly, Donald Trump. Not everyone loves Joe Biden. Not everyone loves Justin Trudeau. Everyone has their haters and their fans, and that's fine. But to me, I measure success in a very strange way. The more people that you get to ruffle their feathers, that means that you're touching a nerve.
Right.
And that means it's like, okay, I'm onto something here.
Exactly.
You're kind of pissed that I'm doing something that you're clearly not into. Exactly. So I'm going to do it even more. It's almost like I want to purposely piss you off.
And it's
purposely.
But it's so funny, because I feel like there have now been businesses made out of haterade, right? Like, there are people who know I'm going to say something that the mass doesn't necessarily like, and that's fine, because there is something to be said about going against the grain, right? Going against what everybody believes. And people go, oh my God, how dare these ladies come out and say X, right? It's like when we did the show on Kevin Samuels, right? Like, his popularity is because he says unpopular shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't be as popular if he came on and said everything that people wanted to hear. But the fact that he says things that are unpopular, especially to women, people are like, oh my God, right? And I think it's so interesting that people are now making businesses out of people hating them.
You are so right. Like, I'm thinking now of this idea of, you go back to something like back in the day, Eminem said, there's no such thing as bad, bad press. Or
P. Diddy.
Or P. Diddy.
Yeah, P. Diddy said
it. There's no such thing as bad press.
And he's right.
He's right. And then you look at something where people are like actually trying to get on the cancel list. Like, people are actually working to become canceled. People are working to get Black Twitter to say you're trash because they know what that does to their career. Like, there's this country singer guy who I've never heard of, never seen.
Yeah, girl.
But now I know who he is.
Who he is now.
He happened to say the N-word one night coming out of a bar, and he was yelling the N-word, and people heard this, and people out in the country music industry came out and said, yo, this guy, he's trash, let's get rid of him. So they dropped him from his record label. They've been doing all these things. And I'm like, interesting. If he never said
any of that,
the N-word, I wouldn't know why is. Like, his fame just got more popular because he's been canceled.
Yeah.
So there are people out there who are purposely working to get on that list because
they're purposely working to get on Black Twitter.
Yes, because if you are,
that's where the success lies.
if you're pulling feathers, that means you're becoming popular.
Yep.
We look at Shonda Rhimes with her newest show, Bridgerton.
Right.
It's getting, there's
a lot of mixed reviews.
There's lots of mixed reviews. There's a lot of people that have an issue with it, the way how it was casted and all of this. But because of this, it's actually becoming one of the biggest shows in Netflix history, simply because people are like,
Netflix?
It's Netflix.
Oh, it is Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, oh.
Now they gave her $150 million deal.
Right.
Just
and
saying.
Netflix has confirmed that the show is going to have another season based on it. So, Chandra, do you think she cares if people love the show or hate it? No, because it's bringing eyes to the show. So whether you hate it or love it, it don't matter.
And that's the thing too, especially with artists back in the day, when you look at Prince and Madonna especially, they would do a lot of different things. They do erotica things.
Pissed a lot of people off.
A lot of parents like, I don't want my daughter or my son listening to Prince or Madonna or any other artist because their stuff is too sexualized. And when reporters would ask them, how do you feel about that? They just shrug and be like, next question.
Yeah, like,
because they're an artist. They don't care. They're getting their money and they're showing their vision. So if you don't like something, instead of you sitting there, me and Kirsty always have this conversation. If you don't like a celebrity, let's use Tom Cruise as an example. If you don't like Tom Cruise, then why are you putting up a website that says, I hate Tom Cruise?
I hate Tom Cruise.
That's a lot of work.
Right.
You bought a domain name. Like, you went and got pictures of Tom Cruise to put on the haters website.
You spent your money.
Come on, career.
Career.
You are helping his career.
If you don't like someone, why are you building a website for them? Why are you supporting them? And it's weird.
And that's the thing about the hater.
Yeah, that's so. I'm glad. Sorry, Kirsty. I'm glad you brought that up because it is so interesting. When I dislike something or someone, I just unfollow them. I don't watch their shows. I don't listen to their music. I don't go on a hate campaign to let people know. If people ask me something about it, I'll be like, you know what? I don't really listen to them. I don't really follow this person, or I stopped watching the show. It really wasn't for me. I'm not going to go out and create more buzz about them and use my platform to big up somebody I hate instead of using my platform for me and the things I like. It's interesting.
Why are people taking out domain name? Well, and buying up,
we have people out there too that they try to use the hateration.
Hateration is dancery.
Yeah, I'm like, how can I? They try to use the hateration to become popular. Like, for instance, you have someone like Tory Lanez who, allegedly, and I say that because I know that, I shouldn't just be out here saying it, even though I know he did. But allegedly shot, Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. And he decided to try to even market on that hateration by then putting out music that was all about like violence really towards women. And it was like, why? What are you doing? Right now, you're actually making yourself look actually stupider, and you're actually giving more sympathy towards Megan Thee Stallion. So what are you doing? Like, this is you trying to show, oh, I hate this girl, but at the end of the day, it's like, dude, you're not helping yourself.
You're not clearing your name, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
All you're doing is you're putting the last nail in the coffin.
And to me,
hater is
a terrible PR person, right? Like, whoever is this PR person, just fire them and hire us, because clearly that was not the lane to go in. And it's just like, again, and it's so true, people are really trying to capitalize on hateration, but the reality is you need to know, it has to be authentic. Right? Like, I know, you guys are reading my book right now, and I say unpopular probably things, but it's authentically me. That's what I believe. That's what I feel. It is, and I stand by them. So if anybody came from me, I would stand by it, right? Like it was important that I was in my voice. Because I had a conversation, I'm like, if I show up to some interview and they're getting some like rah, 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 and I came off very polished and Michelle Obama is, girl, I am not Michelle Obama. Like, I will never be Michelle Obama. Love some Michelle Obama, but she ain't me, I ain't her, and that's how it is. So for me, it's like, be authentic. Like, because the reality is, as authentic as you are, people are gonna hate you, let them hate you. Don't let them hate the version of you or whomever, this whatever version you decide. I'm like, if people are gonna not like my book, let me know that, listen, I wrote a damn good book, because you don't like me because of some unpopular stuff I said in my book. But if you ask me about it on an interview, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is what I believe.
Well, yeah, that's what I believe.
I'm not gonna forget it because it was some PR stunt or something. And I'm like, no, I believe that. That's how I live my life. Right. But to go ahead and create this image of yourself just to try to get haters, or to just, I just think it's so
tacky.
No, that's tacky. And
it's
again,
stupid, and people aren't dumb.
Yeah.
They're going to find out that you created this ridiculous,
they're very
second you.
They're very smart.
People are smart.
If they found out Milli Vanilli, they're going to find you out too.
Girl,
it's in the 80s. If they found out Milli Vanilli was
right in New York singing "Girl, You Know It's True," and the tape kept on going. Girl, you know it's true.
Listen,
you know it's true.
Right. For all the little, really young Generation Z, put Milli Vanilli into Google, and you'll figure out what your aunties are talking about right now. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. This was one of the biggest scandals in music history. Check it out. Two really good-looking dudes with long braids apparently were singing these really soulful songs with these heavenly, R&B deep voices, and it turned out they weren't singing a damn thing. And it was like these two older men, like, that were singing these songs. And these guys were lip singing. They lip sang at the Grammys. They lip sang.
And they won awards.
They won Grammy awards for songs that they didn't
write, that they didn't sing.
They didn't sing. They didn't even really know the song. They knew how to do the dance. And they had nice legs to wear bike shorts.
Girl, that brown legs than me.
Check it out.
If you go on YouTube and type it in, they have the actual footage of when they were found out. Like MTV something or other.
You got time, so go check that out.
And it's so funny to think that now in 2021, people think that they can just be out there and being completely inauthentic, and people aren't eventually going to find out. Because the thing about it, I don't know if I necessarily want haters. I'm fine with people not liking me.
It's fine.
That's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm not purposely going out there and saying, I'm going to do something to make sure that I'm hated so that I can be a celebrity or whatever, popular in this moment. Like, if you don't like me, you don't like me. But the energy hating takes, like you said, buying a domain name, finding pictures, spending your money. Like, girl, I don't want nobody spending all that energy on me. Don't you got stuff to do?
All the energy and all the money.
And that's it, right? And it's too much. And at the end of the day, these haters eventually, they might turn.
That too.
People,
they might hate so much that their hate turns to love.
And that's the thing, like,
or obsession.
The thing is, actually, one thing I did learn is that the same energy that it takes to love is actually the same energy it takes to hate.
Oh yeah. And we know that we can love hard.
Right. So the way how you can love hard,
you can hate hard.
You can hate hard as well.
That's not good.
And sometimes you look at it, like, for instance, you hate so much that you're going to go out and buy a domain and search photos and write blogs every week.
Let's say I hate so
and create a whole website. You have to create it.
That hate is
drop down menu.
That hate is looking like a lot of love to me.
It kind of does.
So yeah,
it's a little bit much.
So yeah, and another thing is that a lot of people, they allow the idea of, oh, well, I don't want anyone to hate me or hate what I'm doing, so I'm going to play small. Right. There are people out there that are doing that.
And that's not good.
That
yourself over so much.
Let's unpack that one for a second, because it's so interesting, especially in our community, how we will step away from something out of this fear that if this thing becomes too big or too whatever, it's going to bring this attention that we don't necessarily want. And you are doing a disservice to yourself and potentially a market that might need what it is that you have to give. But I think, we grew up, I talk about it briefly in the book, and I talk about you cannot sell a secret. So brag about yourself, brag often, brag every day, brag to whomever would listen, because the reality, without me bragging about our little online talk show, we wouldn't be on Radio Region today.
Okay.
Right? And I think that I took every opportunity when I was speaking about the things that I do to throw in. And I also have an online talk show with two girlfriends, and this is the name. And feel free to, when we were on Instagram at the time, look at our Instagram show. It was somebody popping in on Instagram that got us this opportunity. And so I'm, in our community, we hear, don't talk about your business, to keep your stuff to yourself. And I'm like, you cannot sell a secret. Now we need to get out of that mentality, because guess what? So people hate on you because you dare to want to do something different. Get out of here with that.
Okay, so here it is for everybody. That was a whole word that you just heard.
Just drop the mic, girl.
Let me tell
you.
Drop
the mic.
Let us tell you. Closed mouths don't eat.
A little louder for the people in the back.
You will starve unless you open your mouth.
Girl, all of that. But that's the problem, especially that I find, like we were saying, because we know our culture. And it's like it's been generation to generation to generation that we're not supposed to talk about what we're good at. If you're like a math whiz, everyone, don't say anything. Don't say how smart you are, because you don't want the meek inherit heaven or the
earth. And
you think when Jesus was on this earth, he was quiet? He may have been quiet, but let me tell you something. The man was making miracles everywhere he went.
He wasn't quiet.
He wasn't quiet. So ignore that part about meek. Yes, be nice and kind, but ignore the other part about being meek. Be loud about the gift that the Creator gave you. He gave you a gift. What are you going to do? Sit on it?
That part.
Right. Every day when you go out, because even during this time of the pandemic, wherever you go out, if you go out and get a coffee, people are very interested in hearing about you. People ask, oh, what do you do? Up to yesterday, went to go get a coffee. Someone asked, what do you do? I didn't even, because they're bored. The coffee shop is empty. So it's like, you know what? I was like, I got time. So I was like, yeah, this is what I do. Wow, that is so interesting. And how does that work? Oh, that's cool. So what, blah, blah, blah. What do you hope comes out of doing this? And And then they were like, wow, one day you should actually go out to Vancouver and, and like tell people in Vancouver about what you do and
That's the thing, you opened your mouth.
If people are out here wanting to know, why are you not saying anything?
We're not mind readers here. No one here can read your mind. I can try, but I'm not going to know what you want. We were having this conversation just now. People are holding people are holding their own selves hostage. You are holding a gun to yourself, holding yourself hostage, watching other people rise up, and you're getting mad saying, oh, how come they're rising up and I'm not?
That is what creates the hateration, right? And that is what creates the non-supportive person. It is the people who are watching others and wondering, why are they making it? Why are they doing that? But they're the same person who every time they have an idea, they say, oh no, that's not good enough, I'm not going to do it. And they're watching other people who actually took an idea and said, you know what, even if I fail, I'm going to do this. And then they hate. So that is my thing about like those haters who have all of that energy. It's because they're watching other people live their dream of being able to, whether it's travel and work and move to a different place, do and have an online talk show that's a radio show, write a book, become a mindset coach, put yourself out to become healthier and profit off of that. they're watching people around them do these things, and they're like, well, why can't my life be that way? Well, your life can if you would just take a chance on you, but instead they use the energy and then they hate.
Exactly. And
Oh,
girl, let me tell you, like, I think Telly was telling me a story of someone that decided they wanted to do something, so they wanted to create something, and then when they created it, they put it out there. They're like, "This is what I'm doing," and she's like, "Persia." Then another person from that circle, they contacted me, and they're like, "Oh."
They started hating.
She stole my idea, and da-da-da-da. And then the first thing I said, because Chantel came to me with it, because the thing is, y'all, listen, I will tell y'all what I think if you come and ask me.
I love how she would knock that back.
So Sheba told the story. So Chantel's telling me this story. Telly is telling the story, and I immediately stop her. I was like, hold on a minute. I said, did the girl actually start? Like, did she even draw the thing?
The answer is no.
So I was like, okay, so what? The girl didn't steal nothing from her.
No. The girl didn't even give her that idea. Someone else gave her that idea and told that friend of mine to do that idea.
She's like, she's pulling from the air.
She's pulling from the air, looking for hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
like,
reaching.
Where can I get some hate?
She's reaching. She's air grabbing.
She's grabbing air, looking
for hate. And it was just like listening to her, and she was going on. Guys, honestly, she sounded like she was demon possessed. The more she talked about it, the more angrier she got. And then she had this psycho laugh. And I was like, you know what? Jesus said no. I cut this conversation. I gotta run. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Just calm down and relax. I hung up the phone. I'm like, Kirsty, I gotta tell you something. Like, the hate was bad. It was disgusting.
Here's the best thing, and for our younger listeners especially, and really for all our listeners to tell you, there is no such thing as a new idea. Only your new way of executing said idea. There's no new idea. It's been thought of. We're not the first ones to have an online talk show. We will not be the last. So anybody who comes after us, I encourage people. I'm not the first person to write a book. I won't be the last. There's no such thing as a new idea, but your unique way of utilizing whatever your talent is to execute that idea, that is new. I don't care how many. Listen, it's funny because I do accountability calls every week, and when I started doing one, I remember someone was like, "Oh my God, I think it's amazing you've self-published all of these books. Tell me." And I started like spilling all of these things. I'm like, "Do this, do that." She was like, I have a friend who actually has written book. You've given me more in 30 minutes than she's given me ever.
Wow.
And I was like, that's because some people feel like that's their space and they need to stay in their space. I think as Black women especially, we have a platform now to utilize our voice with self-publishing and all these different things. And I encourage everybody I meet, and I will give them a step by step. I'm not charging you for it because I think it's important. It's a platform. My lane is my lane. There is enough people to buy books and listen to talk shows and buy your guys' song and have new artists. What do I look like? Oh no!
Over 7 billion people on the planet.
I can't give you that information. I'm so sorry. What?
Listen,
I don't understand.
Listen,
and you know that's another part of hating, not wanting to share with other people how you did it,
thinking you're going to be
you're going to be better than them. So what they are?
I mean, the thing is, look at
is
it like this.
Is that bad?
Well, I look at it like this, right? I look at it like this. One day, Lizzo went out on stage, right? And when she went out on stage and she looked out to the crowd, Beyonce was there.
Okay.
Dancing and grooving to the music.
Yes.
This is Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce at Lizzo's concert. Now, Beyonce could have had all the hate and be like, yo, I'm not going to this bitch's concert.
Okay.
She's out here trying to steal my awards. Listen, Beyonce got so many awards that she's probably saying, can you please stop giving me awards? Because there's so many new artists that need awards. And I can give up 1 or 2 awards. That's okay.
Thank you. It's just that's something that bothers me. Like people that want to hang on to information as if no one else knows your information. The same way how they got it.
Like it was a big.
You think they can't find it the same way you found it?
Big secret.
if you really want to be a friend, you'll help that person. I mean,
well, and that's what
I don't know.
That's what I appreciate too. You know, Toshiba, as you were saying, you know, having calls with people and telling them about, you know, how you self-published. And people ask me all the time, well, what did you do for your training? I tell them, I tell them, look, this is my mentor. This is her name. This is the website. This is whatever. This is how you can graduate quickly.
Right.
If you read this much a night and study this much, you'll get this much done.
Right.
I tell them, when we were making our album, people wanted to know, oh, who was the producer? We gave them the producer's number.
Thank you.
When people want to know, oh, your YouTube videos are really cool. How do we do that? I give them the names of all the software, all the software that we use. If you need help, contact one of us. We'll teach you how to use it.
If I don't know the answer, I will help you find the answer.
Because, listen, no matter,
we're all in this together.
No matter what, they're never going to be her Castle girls. They're going to be
them.
They are.
They're unique in their own way.
There you go.
Toshiba's going to be Toshiba.
That's it.
No one is ever going to come and be Toshiba.
So my goddamn name is Toshiba. Like, that's my thing, right? Like, my name's Toshiba. Like, there isn't like, so for me, it's like, whatever. Be the best version of yourself, but don't hate when other people have chosen to be the best version of themselves if you choose to be a watered down version of you. Like, and a lot of people are walking around as watered down versions of themselves because they're afraid to shine or fear of failure. You know, we talk about the fact we are, you know, I'm very proud of the fact that our show started out a failure. We failed at being our best self, and we took a platform and said we want to be able to do something that we come out as our best self every single week and encourage others to be their best self. There's nothing wrong with failing. Imagine we decided that you guys said no, Toshiba, we really don't want to do this talk show with you. And a year later, you're watching me, listening to me on the radio and said, I can't believe this beep went ahead and did, you know what I'm saying? Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
It's not your fault. But if you want to come down and blame you. Like, hold on, though. She asked us. We chose to say, oh, yeah, girl, sounds an awesome idea. Let's do it. And then that's the thing. People can't get mad if they choose to remove themselves from an opportunity. Don't get mad at the person who asked you or opened the door for you and you chose to not walk through it. Keep that anger. Be angry at yourself. You're the one that didn't walk through the door. And that door only stays open for so long before it just shuts.
Yeah, you know what?
And you gotta wait for the door to open again, which could sometimes never happen.
And that's the thing. I hear that people are really good at sitting online, sitting on their phone,
and just hating,
mindlessly scrolling, hating, taking in content, and creating none for themselves.
Okay.
And rather than saying, you know, I have an opinion, I have a perspective that I want people to hear, I could go on Instagram Live and say what I want to say.
Exactly.
I could write, a blog post or do whatever.
Absolutely.
I know how to style wigs. I could make my wigs and put them up on Instagram. Like, that energy that is being used to just sit there and judge could be used to create for yourself.
Okay.
Like, it could.
Yeah.
It's the same energy. There's not a different energy for, this is the energy for washing the dishes, and this is the energy for getting ready for bed, and this is the energy for showering. Energy is this energy. You need to focus it somewhere.
That's it.
And if it's focused on just comparison,
comparison syndrome,
you're gonna sit there and compare,
nothing compares every day.
And you are gonna find yourself, maybe your skin's gonna start to break out.
Because you're stressing.
Yeah, because you're stressing for foolishness. You're just gonna sit there and wonder, why? While you see other people that you hate, that you're hating on, flourish. Because they're focused. They don't have time to worry about the haters.
No time.
They go through their DMs and as soon as they see a negative thing, they just go
click, delete.
Click.
Next.
Click.
Next.
That's
how easy it is.
That is what these people do while you're sitting there hating.
They're bawling. I can't stand them. I hate them.
You know what's funny? I don't know if it's Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, one of these late night hosts, and they have celebrities read the mean tweets about them. I actually think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I think it's so interesting. So I happened to be watching a clip. It might have been, I was watching CNN and they were showing the clip of Tom Brady, who was reading all of these mean clips about him and dying of laughter about it. And I thought, that takes so much energy, like Garcia just talked about, to pick up your phone, go on Twitter, and then start bashing someone when that minute, a lot could have been, you could have written 20 words in a book. Like, whatever the case might be. Like, you could have done so much more than taking that time and using that energy onto someone else. And that's what we're not realizing. The more you're focused on someone else, the less you're focused on yourself.
Thank you.
That's it. You're not, your focus is in the wrong place.
And guess what? When you do that, when you're not focusing that energy on yourself and on the other person, that energy that could be going into you bettering yourself and you know, just making all these dreams and stuff that you might have true, it's not going to, because it's not getting the water it needs. You know, the seed isn't getting the nutrients. So therefore it's always going to be a seed. It's never going to grow into a plant.
That's it.
You know, it's never going to become anything substantial. And I also want to say thank you, Radio Regent, for giving us the opportunity to not only share our perspectives with Toronto and the world, because we syndicate through iHeartRadio, but also giving us a platform that's inspiring people to be the best version of themselves, which you have allowed us to do. So we appreciate you. Love you all at Radio Regent. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. We're gonna keep on dancing.
Yes, keep dancing, girls. I know y'all couldn't see me dancing, but it was really good.
Well, you know, you gotta catch us live. You gotta catch us live, you know? You gotta catch us live.
But yeah, you know what you're saying about this energy and where you're putting it. Some people are gonna sit there for the rest of their life and hate on. And then the thing is, what they're hating on, sometimes you're just like, I'm sorry, wait, what? You hate this woman because
she created a hairline.
Yeah, like I'm like, what?
You hate her because you got a new car.
But wait, what did she do to you though?
You hate
the nerve to be happy and live her life. That's the problem. She had like
because you got
some nerve of someone to go out and live their life, some nerve of someone to go out and travel, some nerve of a woman to fall in love. And how dare she show her love on Instagram and show her partner? How dare you promote your song on Spotify? How dare, like, you dare to do something for yourself?
Because God knows that, you know, you should, I guess they want you to contact them first to see if it's okay for us to glow up. Is it okay if I get engaged? Is it okay if I get a new job? Is it okay if I get a new car? Is it okay if I, you know, level up my life?
You know, we've seen it.
Okay, I'll just stay here and just continue.
We've seen it, right? We've seen the people on YouTube that come and say, guess what, everyone, I lost 70 pounds. And now, you know, now I'm, you know, I've healed myself from certain diseases and I'm living a better life. And then they have people that have known them for years that are like, oh, I'm no longer your friend.
I don't like you anymore. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than me?
Simply because the person took their health into
their own hands.
And chose themselves. That is the interesting part about when people start hating on decisions that you're making, of you choosing you. Because sometimes, you know, think about the person who lost 70 pounds. They're probably so much healthier and happier. So they chose a healthier path for themselves, and now they're in a place of happiness. I can't see how I'm going to hate on that. Personally, I'm not. And the people who hate are the people who are like, again, how dare they chose to be themselves and get out of their rut while I remain in mine.
Well, and I think that's why you say projection, right? Because they're seeing something that they don't like about themselves.
That's it.
Right?
It's a mirror.
When they see someone, you know, getting up and saying, you know what, I've decided I'm going to go travel. I'm going to go to Bali. Then I'm going to go to Dubai. Then I'm going to go to Norway. And there's someone sitting at home and they look at that person and they start hating. They're hating on them because they weren't ever brave enough to save up money and travel for themselves.
They
Because
spend
someone
money
like
on
me,
stripping.
I would never be jealous of a friend that's like, I'm gonna go travel. I'd be like, girl, yes.
listen, keep
I'd be
that
like,
Instagram going. I need to
traveling is
see.
awesome. I love to
I love
travel
traveling.
too. So you go to Bali so I can get a taste of what it's like, and I'll see you there. I'll come. Like, and again, guys, okay, another thing too, you've got to start celebrating people that are haters. They have to start celebrating people, because the thing is that nothing good is going to ever happen to you.
The universe ain't stupid.
Let me go close to the mic. The universe listens and hears. And that energy again that you're expelling on someone else, you will never get that energy back. And it's, it's interesting to me, because I would love to be in a situation with someone and really ask them why all of the paths you could choose, you've decided that continually hating someone else for their choices is the route you want to take. Listen, you don't have to celebrate everything everyone does. I don't expect, again, people to always celebrate the things that I do, but to really, the people who go up there and are truly malicious. Yeah. And like you said, the people, we'll go back to what we talked about first. The worst kind of haters are the ones who smile in your face, clap in your face, and then try to deliberately stab you in the back. That's the situation you were in, Telly. That girl didn't say anything on that call. She waited until, and she probably was clapping with, "Oh yes, girl, great idea. Do you? Hung up and then called you.
And said, "Oh, this," and honestly, guys, it was like night and day.
And I said to her,
night and day. I was like, "What the heck?" And I don't talk to her anymore.
I said to her, I'm like, I bet you
she's
called someone and she's talking about you right now.
Of course she is. Because she knows all about our show. She knows about our music. She knows about what we're doing. I tell her, I'm with my girl group. I try to tell her, I have a girl group. We have our own show. One of my sisters is a writer. One of my sisters is an NLP. I'm into the health and wellness, and I'm trying to get the social media thing going. And the funny thing is, oh my God, I'll save that for offline because I don't want to give it away too much. But she knows this, so I know that she's telling other people, "Oh, who does she think she is? Who does she think she is?"
Because the thing is, their persona, it's not going to change. Oh no, just based on that one person. That's how they are with everybody.
She's even mad at the man that gave the girl the idea. She's mad at him. She said, "Why didn't he give me that idea?"
Why can't you come up with ideas on your own? I'm confused. Do we not all have a brain? Like, I went to bed and came up with this idea for the show. I literally went to bed and woke up and sent Garcia a text the next day after our epic failure and said, I have an idea. Ideas come to me all the bloody time. You are waiting for people for handouts. There are no handouts for Black girls. That's the name of my book. No handouts.
I hope that, because I put out, every one of my girls' book is coming out March 31st. I really hope that I kind of almost want to DM her that, saying, maybe you should read this one.
No handouts for Black girls. What are we talking about?
Read this book when it comes out.
Because the thing is that you are a human being. God gave us all a special gift. We're humans. We are natural artists. We create. Exactly. That's what we do. The reason why we're sitting in houses right now, the reason why we're sitting in apartments right now, the reason why we have cars. Right. We create things. That is what we do. Yes. So if you are sitting there as a human and you can't come up with an idea, you can't come up with an idea, because ideas are free and they're ever evolving. They're coming through your head. As we sit here conversating right now, as we sit here chatting, we have ideas popping up in our head of something to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So why
sometimes you want to turn off your brain just to stop the flow.
Exactly.
Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night saying, okay, let's write these down because I'm not going to sleep until it's out of my brain on paper.
Listen, someone, and that's the thing, right? Like, someone one day had an idea where they were like, Kamala Harris, she's gonna be the next vice president for sure. So I'm just gonna take one of her graduation photos and stick it on a t-shirt, stick it on a hoodie. And, you know, yeah, I could be infringing on, you know, her image, but I'll make a few bucks, right? And this was an idea and the person did it. And it exploded. It exploded. Up to like magazine editors are wearing these t-shirts and these hoodies with the graduate photo with her cool funky hairdo, with her red lips and earrings. And this is what people are wearing. But that was an idea. And it didn't, I'm sure that the person went out and they had to source, they had to figure it out, but they had the idea. Maybe they even called their friend and said, I have this idea. Do you know how I could make this happen? Like, ideas are supposed to lead to actions, or no, ideas are supposed to lead to feelings, and those feelings are supposed to propel you to action,
to move.
So if you're having a heap of I have no ideas, well, you need to start thinking about how you want to feel.
Start getting your piece of paper and start just doodling. Just start writing, doodling,
and stop hating.
Stop hating.
Did y'all hear that? She said, think about, listen, girl, you just dropped something. I had to come back to it. I had to pick it up. Like, you don't just want to leave it. She said, think about how you want to feel. Because hating leads to bad feelings. There is to me, there's nothing good out of, like, when you walk away and you watch someone living the life you want to live, there's no way that feels good.
No.
It can't.
No, that can't be.
No. It cannot feel good. And the reality is, if you see someone, because listen, I've done it. I've seen people living their best life. And I'm like, I'd like to do that too. And so I don't sit and wallow in it. I say, how do I get so that I feel how do I get to that point? How? Because I don't like how I'm feeling in this moment, but I do like how that looks and how I want to feel when I get there. And so it's interesting that you said, think about how you want to feel. I don't think a lot of this, girl, look at you and your neuro-linguistic. Girl, come on now. Come on. If
I was just doing a really stiff dance, y'all.
It was good. But you know what? It's true. Because you know, it reminds me of the session I was listening in on, and it was talking about the mind, and he used a farmland as an example. He said, the farmland is just like your brain. It doesn't care what you plant. Whatever you put in there, it's gonna grow. So if you're planting seeds of hate and cutting people and I can't, and you're watering that, your life is gonna be so miserable. You're gonna keep on getting what you reap.
That's it.
Or so that's what you're gonna get.
Yep.
You keep on planting seeds of hate and hoping that your friends fail, and you're wondering why you can't grow healthy crops, and why can I get good ideas, and why does my life suck? Well, think about what you're planting. Think about what you're showing the Think about what you're doing, and then come back and people also need to. We were talking about this. People ask too many questions and don't do anything to fix it. Instead of asking questions and say to yourself, okay, why do I feel this way? Well, this is why I feel this way. I feel this way because, and be real, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Samantha.
And be like, you know, I love her house, and I wish I had a great relationship
Don't lie to yourself.
With my husband or boyfriend like she does.
That's the first step.
Right?
Be honest with your hate. So you know what? I hate because I'm jealous. Okay, now how do I fix it? Well,
what should I do?
What should I do? Well, maybe I should see a marriage counselor if that's the reason why you're jealous of Samantha and her man.
Right.
I'm mad. Oh, here's a good one. This happened a lot when Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got married. A lot of women were pissed that Prince Harry was married. And they were hating on Meghan, saying how, why did he marry Meghan? Whatever hogwash they wanted to throw at the poor woman.
People are stupid.
But then Carson and I talk about this all the time, saying, well, did they put themselves in the same place that Meghan put herself in? No. Were they going out anywhere? No. Were they, putting themselves out there, even not for Harry, but for someone to even see them in the first place? The answer is no. So why are you hating on two strangers?
Right.
And why are you?
That's going back to like
putting yourself.
You know, the same thing with the 6-figure lady who wanted the 6-figure man. It goes right back to that. It's like you're going on about how much you're jealous of certain women or certain people because you can't have this and you can't have
that baller.
And I'm like,
you can't have that
think about it.
lawyer.
I mean,
you can't have that car.
Listen, if you're living in, you know, the suburbs of Detroit, sitting in your house
and not going out anywhere,
never going anywhere, even when there is no pandemic.
Yeah, even when there was no pandemic,
you know, you weren't going nowhere. You're not doing nothing, and you're wondering why you can't meet your 6-figure man. Well, I can tell you why.
The first step is to go outside. That's the first step. Ask questions, then answer them. Stop asking and start doing.
We have to start doing.
You know, and I love that because a lot of people will tell you what they won't do. I'm single, but I won't go online. There's nothing good that comes out of online. I'm single, but I won't go to the bar and sit there and potentially meet somebody. That makes me look desperate. I'm single, but no, I won't find anybody in church. I won't do that. What will you do? What you gonna do?
That's it. What will you do?
What will you do? Because the truth of the matter is, in order to connect with people, you need to go where people are.
Yeah, go where people are. And that's the problem.
Whether it be a bar, whether it be church, whether it be to the park, walking your dog in the dog park, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, whether it have to be online through an app or something, you gotta be where people are.
And that's the thing. People feel like, well, my faith is so strong, God is just gonna send a man. Well, like what? Like, is it gonna drop him physically into your house? Like,
through the roof.
Through the roof?
Let me tell you.
My man.
Some of these people's prayer ain't going no further than the ceiling. Okay, God, it didn't get nowhere past the ceiling. Okay, God did not hear you. Okay, because He knows your heart. He knows your heart. So your prayer didn't go. No, it came out of your mouth and stopped there. God did not hear it. Okay, enough is enough. You're so focus on what everyone else is doing and what you won't do, but you're not focused on what you will do because the people's life that you're hating on chose to do. That's all they chose to, they just chose to do. They chose to act and said, I'm going to do this and I might fail, but whatever, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
It's kind of like
that's it.
Being mad at, like, you know,
being mad at air.
Being mad at someone for, like, I remember like years and years and years ago when I was in high school and there was like a dance team, you know, like
yes, like a spirit team.
Yeah, spirit team, whatever, cheerleader, low key. And I went with a friend as a support to go with her. And then we had another friend who was like, oh, I don't know. Like, that's not really me. Like, that's a bit like, I don't know, I'm a bit too like, you know, like
the reasons as to why they don't.
Yeah, they had all the reasons as to why. So we went ahead, and even though my friend that I went to support, she's not the greatest dancer, but she's really enthusiastic and she wants to learn. And you know, give her time, and she does learn the moves, right? And we both got in.
Nice.
Our other friend, who was too good to be in, all of a sudden was like, "Oh, how dare you?"
Okay.
And I was like, but you didn't even come to the audition. Like, if you came and didn't get in, then I could see why you're mad, but you didn't even come. So you're mad at the choice you made. So don't come out here and say that, oh, how dare me.
That's the dry part too. That happened in high school. A lot of us are still in high school mode. We're thinking like we're still 15 and 16.
That part. Is the mic on? Because say it again, girl. Say it again, girl.
That's princess. Act your age, not your shoe size.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're all still
15
years old.
You're not 15 anymore. Cut it out. Grow up.
It's literally like we're 15 years old and still acting.
You can't be mad at people for their life choices.
How dare you get in the school play? How dare I didn't, even though I didn't audition.
I love when Sheba, when you said that some women, they don't want to go to clubs and bars to meet a man because they don't look desperate. But then they get upset when their friend goes to the same place and they find their love. And they get married and have children and live in a beautiful home, and then you're still there with your, oh well.
Of all the list of things you will not do. Right? Like, I will not even go out for the audition, but I will get mad at you that you chose to and then you got in.
Because the people hosting or they're looking for dancers, they're just gonna magically think, oh, where's that girl?
Right. Someone that
my
I've never
mind.
seen or known.
Your friend, the one that I don't know. Is she close?
The one that you don't know.
Is she close?
Is she
Right? Like,
cool? But
it's
she's
so interesting. Like, and you talk, you know, a lot of these people who are hating are sitting at home hating. They're not going out enjoying the world. You know, they've got Twitter fingers, right? Like, again, Drake back to back, trigger finger turns to Twitter fingers. Like, they got Twitter fingers. They're quick on Twitter to do while they're in their home instead of going out and living. Because something really amazing happens when you get up off your backside and you actually go and live. You discover feelings and you start feeling about what you want to do. You will never get that if you literally are in the same place. That's just not good for your mental health, and that's a lot of it. And we look at COVID right now, of the fact that people are really stuck in their house and they're not communicating, and so this hater rate has gone up exponentially because people are now on media more than ever and hating on this and hating on that and finding this and researching that from 19 how long when someone said something, it's like, whoa, you can dig through the archives like it's like an 8-track. You done found an 8-track version of Twitter. 8-track.
Yes.
Y'all, I'm done.
This is what we're dealing with. And, you know, I have to say, if people could just take that same energy that they got to do that, if they could just turn it a bit towards themselves, turn it a bit towards yourself, you'd be surprised what happens to you. Stop hating on your friend that has a candle business. Stop hating on your friend who has decided to go to university. Stop hating on your friend who has decided to travel. Stop hating on your friend who, you know, finally found the love of her life. Stop hating. Stop it. And, you know, men hate too, but, you know, I'm speaking
men hate too.
But men hate to stop hating on your friends for deciding to do something with their life. People have decided to take control of their life. People have decided to say, I'm going to do something with this life, with the gifts that I have. Don't hate on them for that. Like,
because listen, I always say I only get one chance at this, right? And even if I believed in reincarnation, you know, this is my joke. I'm like, I've done enough damage in this body. God ain't let me come back looking like me, right? Like, I've done enough damage. I have not come back in this body. God said, no, you've done enough, Sheba. We're good on you. So while you're here in this body, in this world, do the best you can for you. I get it's fearful. I understand fear. Again, our show was born out of fear. It was birthed out of the fact that we failed, and we had failed probably because we had feared some of the things that we really wanted to do, and so we came out and we did it, and we've seen what that's meant. Listen, you guys are listening to us right now because of that. I understand the fear, but would you rather not do anything and expend your energy wishing and hoping you were like someone else when you can just choose to be the best version of you?
Exactly. I fully agree with that.
So
you know,
true.
My takeaway definitely has to do with that, is that don't play small because you're afraid of having people look at you and hate you. Live in your greatness, be great. You're here to be great. Don't let the world suffer because you weren't great. If someone decided that they weren't going to become a scientist, we would still have diseases that would still be killing us.
Exactly.
Right? They decided, I'm going to go to university and I'm going to be a star, you know, academic. And that's why we have cures and treatments for sickness. So don't play small because there's a gift out there that we all need from you.
All of that. That's a beautiful takeaway. My takeaway is, you know, the only thing you should fear is the what if. Fear that. What if I do it?
Yeah.
Don't live with that regret when you're old and gray. I remember hearing I think it was Denzel Washington did a speech.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying the worst thing in the world, if you're lying on your deathbed and you see all the different versions of you in their state, and they're all looking at you and saying, why didn't you try? Why didn't you even put one foot out to see if you could even do it? Don't live your whole life with the what if.
That's it.
Don't do that. And grow up. Stop.
Also,
high school ways and stop hating with this foolishness. Grow up and be happy for people because the universe doesn't forget.
Amen.
I love it. And you know what? I've got just one thing. How do you want to feel? I think, Garcia, you said it best. There's nothing else for me to say. How do you want to feel? And however that feeling is, make decisions so you can get closer to that feeling being most of the time. That is my takeaway. Because it's honestly, that was profound for me because I've made decisions in my life based on how I want to feel. And I've strived to make sure that that feeling is the feeling that I have most. So everyone listening, thank you. Telly's got something to say before we leave.
Everyone, thank you so much for your Regent, iHeartRadio. Don't forget to listen to us on that time today at 7 p.m. So don't forget to tune in. Follow us on all of our social media under @NotYourTypicalGirlTalk. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and for watching. We will see you again next week with another Bring the Energy. We are energy. And we're going to you a bonus hate in your body. This is what we do want to love. It's easier to carry love than it is to carry hate. So carry love. Live in love. That's it out, girl.
Love it. Namaste, ladies. Enjoy your Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Drinking 6